Well, thank you for tuning into the Read Option. I'm your host for today, Jake Howarth, alongside my main man, Jason Guidola, and my man who's on Jam Session with me and will be in the Read Option podcast for the distant future, Mr.Wright himself, Shane Wright. Welcome to the show, man.
Thanks a lot. I'm excited to finally talk some football.
Yeah, because the other two guys don't really know
So
much.
glad you're on board.
Finally.
Being on board is nice.
So as we said, we're here to talk about some football. Well, a little divisional round. Let's just get to it on Saturday. New England, KC. New England won 27-20 in a game that we could say was kind of back and forth. New England took advantage at home in Foxborough. As we know, they're very dominant there. Thoughts?
New England always seems they build a big enough lead, and the team it's just too much for a team to amount to come back. But I thought KC did a great job.
They did.
Regardless of the whole headset malfunction, not the first time that's happened.
Everyone says that. Everyone says
that's
New England. Everyone goes to New England and go, yo, headsets? What?
If there's smoke, there's fire. But I honestly thought KC was still in the game. I never truly thought they were out of the game. I thought Alex Smith, he did a great job. He didn't, again, he's risk averse, so he didn't force anything.
He never does game manager.
The game manager. Sometimes game manager is a good thing.
Yeah.
Like you know your limitations and you carried forward. But
he gave the Chiefs a chance, though. I mean,
that's all you can do.
So many times when teams play the Pats, it seems like they just try so much. They try so hard to beat them that they just run into their own. Like they hurt themselves.
Yeah, the interceptions and all that. Yeah,
he didn't throw a pick. Like he's right. I think he threw for 240.
Yeah, he stuck to the game plan, which was when you have Coach Reed, you have to stick to the game plan. And I'll give New England credit because I honestly thought coming into this game, Houston's D would get on them, especially on Tom Brady. Obviously, Houston wasn't the same. And on the offense side of the ball, you have Macklin, who was in the game active, but we all know he wasn't really.
He can't cut.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't really active. But you got to give Bill Belichick credit. He's a master chess player. He's a chess master for a reason. And
that first drive, I think, was so important.
Yeah,
too. The fact that they went out, they threw it to Edelman, even though he had drops. They threw it to him 4 times.
Yeah.
And right off the bat, threw it to Gronk right away.
Yeah.
Like they got these players that if they didn't get them into it right away,
especially Edelman.
Especially
Edelman coming off that injury, you have to just get him into game time right away and get him to that zone.
Yeah,
quick starts.
Exactly.
Usually when New England wins, they get off to those fast starts in the first quarter. So they're just like as soon as they get Gronk and Edelman in the game, and they get that two score cushion, they like never lose. They never lose.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And then it builds that prevent. That's all they do is contain. They bend, they don't break. But it was. I thought it was. I literally thought that I knew that they were going to take that game. Kudos to KC for hanging in.
Yeah, you gotta give props to KC where it's due. Just they were always in the game, and I just feel that the better team won. I thought this was my upset pick because I thought Houston's D would get on Tom Brady a lot more than they actually did, but unfortunately they didn't. And Tom Brady just did what he does best in the playoffs. 5th straight in an AFC Championship game and 10th of his career. That's more than most franchises have even combined.
Right,
which is insane, but you gotta give them props for props to do. They're almost unbeatable at Foxborough.
No, they're once playoffs come around, it just shows though how important you need a quarterback in this league.
That's very true.
You look at these teams you look at Houston and even you look at a great team with Kansas City with Alex Smith. He's a good quarterback,
above average quarterback.
It really just shows how powerful an elite player is.
You need that it factor.
Yeah,
that quarterback that can.
And if
lead
you have that it factor at QB, then you're going to be there for. You're going to be in every single game.
And a perfect example of that is Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, exactly.
Green Bay. What happened in Green Bay and Arizona? If you did not see this play, I tweet out a million jaws have dropped that time. Is Aaron Rodgers for the second time this season just Hail Mary out of nowhere when they're on their 2-3 yard line.
They started on their 4 after that sack.
Yes, after the sack, they were on the 4 yard line and they marched down the field, tied the game up. It's just you need that it factor for sure.
No, it's it is pretty incredible to watch though because it's just speaking of what we're talking about with this elite passer and stuff, it's wild how there are if for example if Houston had a really really great quarterback, that team that team is insane because you have DeAndre Hopkins, you have these players around him, and then that defense is spectacular. Like as much as they got blown up for 30 points, you know what I mean? If you have everything, I think everything. It's like a snowball effect from the quarterback position.
For sure.
Because if you have a quarterback who's a clock manager, you're on the field more. If you have more time of possession, then your defense isn't as tired, and you're not giving them. They're not as prone to get torched. So you know what I mean? Like I really, as much as like you can have these great pieces around them and stuff. It just a QB is just. I know it's such an easy thing to say, but it just shows how important.
That's why everyone is looking for the next big thing, the franchise quarterback and drafts. How people may take a quarterback a bit higher than expected, but because they're just desperate for that big star. Because a star, you can have a big star like that for 10 to 15 years, and you're set.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about it. That's the most important position. You don't have to worry about that.
The thing about the Packers is that they have their franchise quarterback, and
for sure,
they weren't just riddled with injuries. They're still a flawed team, but when you got Aaron Rodgers, when you got Nelson,
anything
a healthy Cobb,
Nelson.
They were originally
Nelson.
my Super Bowl pick. Yeah.
Nelson. They were even though Eddie Lacy also came in overweight. Their offensive line very shaky. Their wide receivers in this game, they lost Adams last game, who was like supposed to be the breakout player this year, but wasn't like that.
And that was the most important thing for the Packers. They stuck to the run game, which was the reason for their success against the Redskins.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because you had to get Starks in that game. You had to get Lacy. Because they're decimated at the receiving corps.
In the playoffs, I believe you have to have a running game, and that's why I think maybe down the road New England may not be as successful down the road just because they can't run the ball. Fred Jackson led the way with 16 carries for 31 yards, and I don't know if you can sustain a drive because a lot of times, for instance, when you are playing, let's just say New England makes it to the Super Bowl and you're playing Cam Newton. Cam Newton's the Carolina Panthers love running the ball, and they're going to take time off the clock. Mm-hmm. And then you look at New England, they're mostly a throwing team, and they're going to have to throw it. So they're not really – the whole point, you got to keep the star player off the field. And when you don't run the ball, you're giving them more time.
The only thing is, I think there's always that, like, the old-time football is that you run the ball to establish the throw.
Yeah.
But I really start to think now –
it's reverse.
I think it's becoming reversed a lot now that you establish the throw so you can run the ball.
So you free up the box so no one stacks the box, which I agree with, but I still think you need that dual threat, especially in the playoffs.
You have to have that balance, right?
Yeah.
When you're facing an elite quarterback, usually the best defense is time of possession.
Exactly. So you need a little bit of a running game, which I don't think New England has compared to Carolina. Carolina, we all know, can run the ball.
Absolutely.
Arizona, I think they just hit a wall. I think they're going to be fine. They have David Johnson Jr., and then Chris Johnson is apparently close to coming back.
Yeah, he could be ready for the Super Bowl.
And then Ellington, I think, is going to be kind of the X factor because going into the season, before they even got Chris Johnson, he was supposed to be the guy moving forward, but he kept getting hurt. Chris Johnson
if Chris Johnson
opportunity.
Can come back,
that'll be huge.
It's huge because now you have David Johnson, who's a great passing running back.
Even Ellington is the same way.
And he's also a big, he brings a different type, like kind of like that pounding running back. And then you have Chris Johnson, who's one of the fastest. So it would be exciting. I personally would love to see the Cardinals in the final.
My Super Bowl pick earlier this year was Arizona, New England. So it's still possible.
They look like they're on a destiny run. To be honest. Kudos to Bruce Arians, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent play. He's like the best play caller ever.
Oh, he's just so cool, calm. Like he's just he's a fun coach to watch, and I enjoy watching.
He's a quarterback-friendly coach.
Oh, absolutely.
He came in, obviously, when you have Andrew Luck as a rookie, he did great things. But especially going in with Carson Palmer, former first overall pick, former Heisman Trophy winner, had all this expectation, kind of on decline, everyone thought in his career. And then this year, fully healthy, boom, career numbers. Even last year, they were 6-0 with him.
Yeah.
And it just shows you how good Bruce Arians really is. And I was pretty upset. I don't know why more people didn't go after this guy. Maybe he just liked the situation in the Cardinals organization. Obviously, with Larry Fitzgerald, you have a good defensive core. But speaking of the Cardinals, we're getting a little off track. The game.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
What was the key things that Arizona did?
Well, they were pretty fortunate to get that one touchdown. That was a Michael Floyd.
There's a penalty on. I thought there was supposed to be a penalty on Brown.
Yeah.
Brown held off that same receiving touchdown. Brown literally held the guy and just drove him 10 yards back, and there was no penalty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They didn't Josh Brown, but there was no call. Well, that caused the tip.
It's I thought Arizona they did what they had to do, and I thought Carson Palmer, even though he tossed 2 picks, he never lost the track of the game there. He stuck with it, so I'm pretty I'm pretty impressed at how I haven't really, besides the Brian Hoyer.
Exactly. Yeah.
We haven't seen any of the quarterbacks we've expected to perform. They have not fully. They've done their
even Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
We can even throw even Kirk Cousins. He's not the elite quarterback, but he performed. Most of the quarterbacks have performed except for Brian Hoyer.
Except for Brian Hoyer.
If you take him out, you can argue that even AJ he performed. You could break this down. All the quarterbacks have played very, very well. And speaking of Carson Palmer, I think it's just the leadership of him, especially Larry Fitzgerald, leading by example. Of that locker room so deep on the leadership side of the ball.
He doesn't look like he lost a step
no,
at all.
I think he got rejuvenated. You're talking about one of the best receivers of all time, and the amount of quarterbacks this guy had to go through, talent-wise. Other than Kurt Warner, there hasn't been much other than Kurt Warner, Carson Palmer, and then you look at the list, and there's Skelton.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, you also had to really, I think he had 3 drop passes all year.
Yeah.
Which is just absurd. Coming from a slot receiver.
Yep.
That's like everyone, like, that's huge because you're going up against, you're catching the ball up the middle.
Yep.
And you're going up against, your
linebackers,
which
big safeties.
seems like, you can catch on linebackers, but you're going to get hit.
You're going to get
So, like, it's not an easy position to get.
Especially at his age.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not an easy position at all to do.
No, but that game,
kudos to him.
It was crazy. The best part of that whole situation, though, was at the end of the game, I forget her name. Aaron Rodgers' girlfriend,
Olivia Munn.
She
there you go.
You're on it.
Gossip.
Tweets out, "Oh my goodness, so proud you completed 2 Hail Marys, so proud," or something like that. And I died. I'm like,
why would you put that?
You know what? I would be really proud too if I didn't make it. If I didn't,
she should have put that tweet after the Hail Mary.
not
after.
Because if you don't win the Super Bowl, it's great to have 2 Hail Marys. Because
it's the exact same thing. Because that's 2 rings right there. That's an extra 2 rings on your finger.
She's just being supportive.
One of the best things I found about that game was when Larry Fitzgerald caught that 75-yard pass. When he caught the first 20 yards, you saw no one on the screen but Larry, which I thought was really cool. And then obviously he punched it in with that little nice shovel pass call by Bruce Arians. But Sunday.
I know. I one thing to say, though, about the Packers there, and the reason what they have to do, I think, is like it's their linebacking coverage. Like they can't cover in. Like,
other than Clay Matthews.
But you need him to blitz so often, right? So I don't know. Like they went with 2 secondary players. They went with Randall and Quinton.
That's in
the first 2 rounds.
They have a lot of holes to fill. And considering
they didn't take a linebacker till the 4th round last year with Jake Ryan, and he got torn apart, especially when he was trying to cover Jordan Reed in the week before. They definitely need to go.
Man, they have a lot of holes, even linebacker and offensive line for sure. Maybe they'll just take that on in free agency. But let's move on to Sunday. I'm just going to point out the obvious one. I know. Oh, he left. Our fanboy Carolina Panther enthusiast Andrew D'Amato is gone. But who else was stunned? In a span of less than a minute, Seattle's losing 14-0 to the Carolina Panthers. I was just mind-boggled.
I wasn't shocked at all. Everyone was picking Seahawks.
No, but no. Not just picking the Seahawks, but you're up 31-0 at halftime. No one can predict that. As Tony always says, sports is the best reality show because you
get what you get. You just never get. You get some crazy stuff that happens.
If you told anyone that loves football that Seattle's gonna go into halftime up 31-0, done. Guarantee you everyone would have laughed in your face. I would have laughed at your face.
I wonder what the Vegas odds were on that.
I wonder if anyone even
1 to like a trillion.
Yeah,
honestly. No, but the thing is though, if I was Carolina, you don't want that to happen every game though, because then
no, you don't.
You almost want, especially that being their first game back. Like maybe it would have been great if they just won 31-0, or if they just blown them out, right?
I also feel that they may have kind of put the playbook away, kept it a bit more simple
in the second half.
Yeah,
which is smart. Cause that's an advantage for your next.
Yeah,
week.
for sure. But I understand what you're saying.
Like now
bad habits and all that stuff.
Yeah, now you have this mindset. Your mindset's completely different. And now you're going into what I think is going to be the best game. I think the NFC Championship is going to be better than the Super Bowl, regardless of who's in it.
Yeah.
I think the Cardinals and Panthers are going to be better than
even if it was Cardinals and Seahawks.
Yeah,
I think it would have been great to watch.
Like as much as like I personally think it's 100% that the Patriots are going to make it to the Super Bowl.
I don't know about that.
I think
I don't know about.
I'm putting all my marbles there.
I don't know, man. That I understand. Peyton Manning isn't the greatest in cold weather, and the offense did look shaky. Even the wide receivers dropped enough passes that game. But that defense, you can never count a team out on that defense, and they're a mile high. If this was in Foxborough, it'd be a different story, but they're a mile high. And we saw with the conditions, Pittsburgh Steelers were getting tired. They're not used to it. And that does, even though some people may say that doesn't play as big as a factor, I think it plays a little bit of factor when you're playing.
It's there, and it makes a difference.
Yeah.
No matter if it's bigger.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying. I understand that New England is favored, and they should be moving forward with Belichick. And Peyton Manning wasn't looking that great.
With just going back to Carolina, what was more glaring? Them going up 31-0 or them dropping the lead in the second half?
Dropping the lead in the second half.
No, I think it was them going up. I just think.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm just saying. I think it's.
That's true.
I'm not surprised that.
Seattle came back. Yeah.
I'm not surprised Seattle came back. I'm more surprised that they jumped out to that big lead because I was saying no. I knew for a fact. Like I think it was most football fans knew that the Seahawks were going to come back and make it at least close.
That's true.
To be honest, 7 points was closer than I thought because I thought the Panthers were going to score some more. But I think it was more impressive that they got up 30-31 than them letting up.
But would you be nervous about the defense moving forward? Because the defense has been shaky in the past last weeks of the season. And then you look at this week. Yeah, New York Giants is one thing. It's just, I don't know.
At the same time, like
they are really good.
They are really good,
is
and
unbelievable.
and at every single level, they have a game changer. Like they have Short up the mid, like in there, and then they have Davis and Kuechly, and then they have obviously, but Norman. But you're right though, like because if you look after Norman though, like their secondary is pretty weak.
Yeah, and then you're looking at an Arizona wide receiving core that's unbelievable. Yeah. Larry Fitzgerald, Josh Brown, Michael Floyd, who I honestly think is who's the X factor in this game moving forward.
Oh, absolutely.
He is unbelievable. When he's on, he's unbelievable.
And same with Brown. Brown's deep threat is
that speed
next to none.
And Josh Norman's probably gonna go on Floyd.
Yeah.
I expect Arizona to spread them out.
Yeah, exactly. Widespread.
The game. They're just because they're more. They got the beef. Carolina's got the beef. That's another thing how they beat. I noticed they beat Seattle, even though Seattle was ranked like first in the league on total defense. I noticed that you can run on these guys. If you watch if you watch the game last year against Dallas, you notice how Dallas went up into Seattle and beat them. They just ran the ball down their throat.
That's true, but
I think that's a formula that they saw in Seattle. So that's the type of football they play. So in terms of Arizona, they got to find a way how to if they're going to be more beef and power, they got to spread them out. They got to use their
Carolina
speed.
Was not like as much as they had a great defense. They let up some really big plays.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
On
you
the
have
run and especially on in the air.
And you have Carson Palmer. Obviously, Russell Wilson is unbelievable, and the receivers of Lockett, Keeson, Baldwin are really good. But now the problem with them, their height. Now you're playing a Michael Floyd who can jump up there, or Larry Fitzgerald who just has the wit. Yeah. Josh Norman who has the speed of a Lockett. Put that all together, and then you have David Johnson Jr. coming out of the backfield, Ellington coming off the backfield. It's going to be a very interesting game, and the thing with the Carolina thing, the running game is unbelievable, and that's that Arizona has to stack the box a little bit, and obviously Luke Kuechly is probably one of the best pass defending linebackers I have seen in a very long time. Obviously, we're young than most here, but. What I've seen, he's unbelievable. Like
right place, right time.
Unbelievable pass breakup near the end of the game for Baldwin. How he just reached out, kept up with him, and just smacked the ball away. He is unbelievable. Boston College franchise.
He's the game between those two are definitely going to be. There's going to be a lot of big factors that both teams need. Like obviously, because Fitzgerald and Kuechly are going to match up at some point.
Oh yeah,
you know
what I mean?
And it's also though it's just like you have to. I think it just kind of comes out of it's not going to be necessarily the first and second like the big players. I think the no names are going to be the difference. Obviously, you know what I mean. Like obviously,
Nelson.
I'm not. Yeah, exactly. Like you mean like these big players are going to make plays, but at the same time they're going up against other Pro Bowl players, and I think it's going to be it's going to go either way. But it's the other players that have to step up.
So do you think Funch is going to make an appearance?
Funch is, he could. But
go
that's
blue.
The thing. You never know. Like so, it's going to be. I'm just really excited for that one.
Okay, yeah, it's going to be a good game.
I think it's going to be better than.
That's great. Yeah, it's going to be a great game. And then obviously, on the other side, you had Denver Broncos versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not the most entertaining game in terms of scoring because each team only got one touchdown and combined 8 field goals. But what do you take away from that?
It was an interesting game though. Like I find it was better than I was than I thought. I thought it was gonna be a complete bore and like so many injuries, and you never know what to expect out of Manning.
Especially even Pittsburgh, you never know, because either Pittsburgh can win those grindy games when they aren't able to score, or they just come out swinging.
Exactly, but then you see it was Brian, right?
Yeah,
who just he stepped up and had a great game.
And
Roethlisberger had a great game, and I didn't expect.
I will give credit where credit's due. I was on the Pittsburgh Steelers secondary these past couple of weeks, and they really stepped up.
Yeah,
they did get some lucky breaks in terms of pass drops, but the secondary played a lot better than I thought they would. And I know Jason's itching at the fact to go nuts on us. Go ahead, Jason. Vent away. This is a safe area.
I am ready to unleash.
This is a safe area. This is very safe. Go ahead.
Now, I'm a little sensitive to Peyton Manning.
You and 99% of the world.
But you got he is great. He played a sound game. Actually, if anything, going with Manning, he had some zip on those throws yesterday. Probably the most I've seen all season.
No, it's true.
Yeah,
he actually
the rest is so zip. Key.
Yeah, no, the rest would definitely with him.
And what did they do? What did they do? Like I said, they would do. They had to establish a run. And C.J. Anderson looked great. He looked better than he did all year in these past couple weeks.
I'll give credit to Denver. I'll give them credit. They were very efficient on offense. Yes, Denver had a lot of drop passes, but the Steelers had a lot of drop passes too. I remember the one play they had Martavis Brown on the 1-on-1. Big Ben lasered one right in the numbers to him.
Oh yeah,
and
we hit him
that they were already up by. They were already up by a field goal. But
do you take that into consideration, the weather?
Nah, because
just everyone's I'm saying everyone's just everyone, not just him. Everyone's just dropping balls.
The big difference.
There was a lot of.
It was just third down.
There was a lot of.
Were crazy though.
You look at Talib and Harris, a lot of I saw a lot of hands on the receivers. I felt there were a lot of questionable non-calls.
I also think it's playoffs, so they're kind of being a little more leeway in all sports. Even you go in basketball, how it gets a bit more rough. I think they put the whistles away and let the players play to a degree. So that's why I think
That's fair.
Some penalties during the regular season you could have called there, but just because it's playoffs, a lot more is on the line.
That's totally fair. I was impressed by both defenses. Yep. Pittsburgh's defense, they played really. Everybody, it was a stout defensive game. Kudos to Big Ben. He made it work without AB. He made it work.
He did unbelievable. He did a lot better than I thought.
Seemed to get the ball downfield even with that shoulder.
That first throw he threw 40 yards, just showing everyone.
He
overthrew him.
Yeah, he overthrew, and Bryant's not a slow guy.
So he right away he just showed the defense.
Be ready.
I can throw it. Don't try to sack the ball. I get a little deep ball there.
I think the Steelers are going to get better. They'll be back in the mix next year.
If they weren't,
for sure. Health-wise,
they got to get
running back.
Yeah, no Bell, no Williams, no Brown.
Right there. Your running game's gone. Your running game did do well, considering you're under the circumstances. They did very well.
I feel bad for Tucson, man.
That was a good strip.
The only thing is
that was a good strip by Roby.
If they were healthy the whole year, I'm telling you, they were going to be the best team in the AFC.
But the thing is, they were. Yeah, I agree, but. The problem with Pittsburgh, they're never healthy.
Yeah,
they're never healthy, and you could be the first to agree with that. They never stay healthy. If they stay healthy, you have Bell, Williams, Brown, even Pouncey. They lost Pouncey for the year again.
Line.
There's a lot of holes just because of injuries. And Pittsburgh, if they were healthy, hands down would be great. But now you know what they're going to do in the offseason. Yeah, just secondary.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They must. They're
going to. That's going to be the first 2 rounds, at least, of the draft, drafting a safety and cornerback. But obviously, Denver moved on, winning.
Kudos to the Broncos. Yep. Again, we'll see good Manning, Brady again one more time.
17th time. And Manning, unfortunately, or if you're a Manning fan, that's bad. If you're a Brady fan, it's good. Brady is 11-5 versus Manning in the Manning-Brady quote-unquote bowl. So that's going to be good. Yeah, that Manning-Brady bowl. So that's going to be a good game. It's going to be a mile high.
I just want to talk about, though, I say we talk about some overtime stuff because as much as the Arizona game was phenomenal and the Packers game, there needs to be there's no way around it. There has to be another chance for it. It's a slap in the face.
It happened to Green Bay 2 years in a row.
They should learn to call heads, right?
Exactly.
But
you got to get an expert coin flipper there. But same thing happened to Green Bay last year.
Yeah,
they dropped the ball. Seattle came back. No, Seattle came back, and then on the coin flip, Seattle gets the ball, and you knew they were going to score. You just knew based on the momentum. And then Russell Wilson hits Baldwin down the middle. And then you're sitting there going, Aaron Rodgers should have an opportunity. A player that great should have an opportunity. And 2 years in a row.
And the games are just so like that game. The fact that they got into overtime alone is ridiculous. They deserve
Rodgers deserves a chance.
I deserve. Yeah. You guys deserve. We all deserve to watch.
Everyone out there deserves a chance.
Everyone deserves. Honest. So let's just alternatives here. Well, obviously they should just steal from the CFL. I don't think they should do the NCAA route. I don't think they should start from the 30. They should do you get the ball. Arizona receives it. They go. They score. Then they receive, and if they don't score on that drive, then it's over.
I agree with that.
But it's essentially a shoot. It's like a shootout in football.
I agree with that.
But you should. I just don't think it should be.
Automatically, you should have a chance with the ball in your hand.
But it should be a kickoff. I think that's the big.
It should be a kickoff, but I'm saying if you score a touchdown, you have to score a touchdown or else it's over. And if you score a touchdown, you can go for 2 points and just end it there.
Yeah. Oh. No, see, I don't like that.
Why don't you like that?
What you mean, so if the first team goes and scores an extra 2-point conversion, they win no matter?
No. I'm saying the first team scores a touchdown, they just kick the extra point. They're up, let's say,
I agree.
And then the other team come down and get 8 points.
They could do that. No, I agree. I'm fine with that. I thought you meant if you score.
No.
Another thing, though, this is, again, we're just going all over the place with this, but I really wish, and it's obviously impossible, I really wish, it was a tough call to make, but I wish the Packers went for 2 after they scored the tying touchdown. I think when you have that momentum, you just don't put it up to a coin flip.
Yeah.
I agree.
I know, believe me, I know it's the hardest call to make. I know if I was a coach, I'd probably be like, let's kick the extra point and just take the
chance. Just be safe, man.
Because it's true, right? Because,
I understand.
But at the same time, you have Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I understand your mindset, but
and I was gonna say the defense is tired, but they're not really tired.
They weren't that tired at all. But I understand where you're coming from. But just imagine if that didn't work.
Exactly.
Coach McCarthy would be grilled for life. It'd be obviously the same level as the Pete Carroll way he did last year, but it'd be very hard for. Unless my player comes out to me, Aaron Rodgers says, "Let's go for 2 right now." Then I'll be. You're confident. I'm going with my quarterback. If that happened, then I would ride my top guy, Aaron Rodgers, with the ball in his hands.
Yeah. That's the thing. I trust. If now if you have Brian Hoyer, no, you don't do that. But I'm just saying, if you have Aaron Rodgers, who's arguably one of the he's one of the top quarterbacks, obviously.
Yeah.
I just think you go with it. But at the same time, if I was Mike McCarthy, I probably would just kick
the field goal.
It's hindsight's 20/20, and
in the position Green Bay was in, I agree they should have went for 2. Because I feel like they're playing with house money. They know that they don't got the contender. Why not just go for it?
They shouldn't realistically that touchdown 2 helmet a 60-yarder then a 41-yarder. You don't even that's out here.
Come on, when you're at the roulette table, and you're hot, you don't stop, man.
Exactly. You learn when to show them when to fold them.
Yeah, and I obviously we can't say, well, look what happened to them, right? But because you wouldn't, that's just being annoying just to say, oh well, they lost anyway. So I don't know. It's easy to say it from my position now, but it would have been
2020 is so always easier. Just imagine that you're the manager in the game. It's so hard.
Exactly.
It's like almost essentially being a kicker. Everyone says, "Oh, it's so easy to hit a field goal." You know how much pressure those guys are under? It's insane.
I think with the kicking, and this is again off topic, but I'm just saying
this is what the show's about, just going all over the place, all over the map.
When Blair Walsh did he kicked 4 field goals, right? Mm-hmm. And they wouldn't even be in the game if he didn't do that. And also the other thing is people are threatening. You can be upset, you can be
don't
mad,
threaten the guy's life.
But the fact that you're threatening this guy, threatening his family and all that, it's you're expecting this guy to be perfect at his job, right?
Yeah.
And no one in the world does their job perfectly.
Also, you can't just blame
why
the kicker.
Do you expect him to do his job perfectly? It doesn't make a difference how much money he makes or what he does for a living. You can't expect him to be perfect when you don't do your job perfectly or anything else.
Yes.
And at the same time, he's arguably the best
one of the best kickers right now.
And I'm saying if I know for a fact if the Vikings were in the same situation, they would use Blair Walsh again.
I agree. And
most of the league would.
First of all, just to correct Shane, it was actually he only hit 3 field goals, not 4.
But I'm saying you're expecting him to make 4.
Oh, sorry, expecting, my bad. And
so you're expecting him to be perfect.
Why do you blame a kicker? I understand it was a chip shot, and that's all. You can blame the kicker in hindsight, but you have to be able to score the football in Seattle. You can't just win based off field goals, which they almost did, but they have to score. When you're especially
in the playoffs.
that punt,
and you're
that fake kind of like fake punt. They got the ball. You gotta score on that.
Yeah.
AP fumbled the ball. No one's on him. Everyone's on
Yeah.
Blair Walsh.
I said it last week. I said AP did not.
He
AP
didn't perform.
deserves
He didn't
some
perform.
blame, but
I-
I can't absolve Blair.
the
Walsh.
laces
You
too.
have to kick that field goal.
Yeah, oh yeah,
I
for
feel
sure.
bad for him,
Oh,
but
yeah,
you
I
have to kick
understand,
that
but
field goal.
It should just be
I can understand if it was like 45,
the whole
50. Yeah,
the whole
yeah, of
world
course,
should not be on his shoulders. There should be some people taking the blame with him.
There's
And-
a lot of different things. Like
Yeah.
obviously,
I think the Vikings should still keep him, but like,
there's
I
no
will
question.
sign him. I
Yeah,
will
There's no
sign him.
question
but
they
don't
draft
aren't.
him.
Like there's no question they aren't because he was the best kicker this year.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, it was just an idea,
They-
but
The thing with the Minnesota Vikings, it was very hard for them to even start the run game because it was very cold. So you knew that people were going to stack the box.
Yeah.
because it's just hard to start. It's hard to throw the ball in that kind of weather. But anyways, let's just get back on topic. Who do you got? Score Carolina, Arizona. Who do you got? And give me the score, please.
I'm rolling with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing against Carolina. I thought they had a great run, but I
Everyone-
said Arizona was a team of destiny.
Okay.
I'll roll. Give me about 31-28.
Okay.
I say by field goal.
I was literally going to say the same thing, but I'll go 28-34 for the Cards.
I've always been on
It's
the.
going to be a really good.
I've
game.
always been with Arizona, always. And my Super Bowl prediction is Arizona, New England, and I don't want to go against it, but I feel like I must.
It's just they have. You're gonna go. What's the story?
Right now, everyone has always doubted Carolina, and they're at home, and man, I gotta go with my pick, Arizona.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I know I won't not be surprised if Carolina wins.
I'm not gonna be upset either way.
No,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
not
Like,
gonna be
happy, because I just know it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with my Super Bowl pick. So I'm gonna stick with my guns, and I'm gonna go. Arizona is gonna win. It's gonna be a high scoring game. I believe it's gonna be 38-31 Arizona.
Oof, a lot of points.
I hope
Man,
it's that score.
I'm looking at both defenses. You're looking at hopefully Arizona can bounce back, but they had a shaky defense against a team that O-line wasn't the greatest, or wide receivers aren't the greatest.
Right.
Other than Aaron Rodgers, there's not much to give. And then I'm looking at a Carolina defense, which is really good, don't get me wrong, but just the past couple of weeks have been in question for me. So I'm going to think it's going to be a high-scoring game, and I believe it's going to come down to a key play by I'm going to go Michael Floyd's the X factor for me.
The only thing I see is like I compare their defenses very, very. They're both very great, like very good.
Yeah.
And I think the advantage, where I think you look at
Arizona has stopped Carolina from running the ball. If they can actually stop Stewart.
I think the secondary in
fine.
Carolina is. The secondary in the Cardinals is stronger.
Yeah,
But
overall.
then the trenches is definitely Carolina.
Yeah, I agree.
So
but which side of the ball?
pardon me.
Which side of the ball?
Defensive. I'm talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
defensive.
yeah.
wise.
Okay,
Like, just
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
just like
I'll keep alluding to it. It's
the beef. It's the beef. But
and
no,
yeah, I
then
don't know
also
about I don't know about the line because they don't. I think it's more the linebacking core of Davis.
well, just
and
the front
Kuechly.
seven.
Yeah,
but
front
like,
seven. Yeah,
Short and Allen no, it's gonna be a great game, and realistically,
I
I'm
think
not gonna be
Arizona just
upset.
has a better balanced attack, and they're
Yeah,
going to be
and
able to
they're-
score points. While Carolina,
their offense outnumbers the defense.
Everyone's been doubting them, and I'm not doubting them, but I'm just going to go with Arizona just because I feel they do have that run. I feel they do have that a bit more veteran leadership than Carolina. And
Right.
AFC, we got Denver and New England. Who do you got?
28-10 Patriots.
Ooh.
I think it's gonna be the Patriots are just gonna. I think.
I don't know, man.
Shane, that was out there.
I'm out there.
I was out there. I was
confident.
like 28-10. I'm like, I wasn't expecting
That's
that.
confidence, man.
It's
That's
gonna be
confidence.
man. It's gonna just get FOH Denver FOH.
Care to venture why?
So you're going to say
Why?
Manning's
Just because
runs into the distance. Pay Manning's last game right here?
It could be.
Tips
But-
the cap?
Tips the cap. But I'm just saying the reason why I say it is the defense for New England is completely underrated. Hightower,
I agree.
Jamie Collins. Butler's a Pro Bowler.
Reed said it was the most
ha-
underrated defense.
They
this year.
have a Pro Bowler at every level.
Yep.
Butler's playing. He's playing like he's playing the same way he did on that pick. Since then, he's been unbelievable. Then you have McCourty, who was one of the best safeties in the league, if not the best free safety. And then you have your two linebacking. You have Hightower, and then you have Jalen Collins.
Yep.
And then you have Jones up in the middle. I think they and Malcolm Brown. I think they're set.
Okay,
And
Jason.
Nikovic.
Butler.
Go, Chase.
Malcolm Butler.
Go, Jason.
What do you mean?
What do you got? Who do you got?
I'm rolling with Denver. I like Denver. I like Manning.
Okay.
I think he's on the again. I just feel it's another destiny run.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be low scoring, and again, I think Denver's defense will do their best to limit their offense from making big plays. They're gonna send a lot of guys. They're gonna drape Gronkowski for sure.
They have to. They just got to follow the Bills' defense when they did that.
Time of possession, like they did against Pittsburgh. I think they're gonna stick to this same game plan. Manning's gonna manage the game, and they're just pound the rock, and it's gonna be a low scoring affair. And I like Denver at the Mile High. They're really good at home, and Tom Brady actually has a very, very dark history playing in Denver. So I like that. I like that one is the most glaring to me. So yeah, I'm rolling with Denver. I say give me 23-17.
No, I was referring to Malcolm Brown though, the defensive tackle.
Oh, the defensive tackle. Sorry.
But no, you're right. It's going to be a good game, but I just think that the what about you, Jake? Actually, I didn't even let you finish. There you go.
There you go.
Our stats guy, we just hired him. That's Yogi Berish, if you remember him from the Jam Sesh. Oh,
That's kind of cool then.
Okay, never mind.
I'm thinking you were talking for the crowd.
No, but still, shout out to Yogi Berish.
It's okay. We got a brand Matt Berish.
Shut up.
Brandon.
Random.
Hey, my turn. I'm going with
Gets
Denver.
credit for that.
I
I'm
don't
going
think
with
we
Denver.
should give him his turn. I think. Do we really care?
Oh, you guys. Shh. I'm going to go with Denver, and simply, I think their defense alone is going to do what I thought Houston's defense was going to do against Tom Brady. But if I looked back on Houston's opponents in the past couple weeks, other than since the bye week, they only played one team over 500, and that was Denver. They played the Chiefs, the Bills, the Raiders, the Chargers, the Ravens again, and then Browns and Raiders. Sorry, Raiders twice, not Ravens twice. Those teams are not great. I think I was high on their defense, but now looking back on it, I think I made a mistake on that part. Denver's D is for real. You saw what they did to Big Ben. Their front seven is great. They have a Von Miller, Ware, Wolf, who can get at the quarterback of Tom Brady, and it's going to come down to the secondary. They have to take Gronk out. If you take Gronk out, the amount of times I saw Gronk one-on-one, I was outrageous.
It's ridiculous how this man can continue
to get one-on-one coverage.
But not only one-on-one coverage. The amount of times he's wide open,
yeah, I know,
in the middle of the field and picks up a 30-yard gain, it's just ridiculous.
It's so dumb. Even the touchdown
ridiculous.
The touchdown I found was when the first touchdown when Gronk was on the far left-hand side, one-on-one. You should have a corner playing press on him and a safety help on Gronk. When you're in the 20 or when you're in the red zone, you know most of the time is going to Gronk. Why is this guy open? And this is where you gotta look back. I think the Bills, when they played them on Thursday night, they held Gronk to 2 catches.
Yeah.
Look back on that game, see what Rex Ryan did. You gotta do something. I'm getting so fed up with teams just letting Gronk be wide open. It's insane in my eyes. It's the one guy you gotta
watch the play calling by Wade Phillips.
Yes, that's the thing. Wade Phillips knows.
I was never a fan of him as a head coach, but boy, that he can coach some defense. So I think he'll have a nice scheme for them.
I just think Peyton Manning Tom Brady he doesn't really matter who he plays. I just really think. What was the score that you gave us?
Oh, I didn't say a score. I got rudely interrupted a bunch of times.
He said, "Who really cares about this guy?"
I know exactly. This is why we brought Shay on the show, just to make fun of me. I'm gonna go 24-21 Denver.
Right, sounds good. No, it should be a good game.
It's gonna be a close game, but it's gonna be a defensive game.
Right. I just can't see the Denver defense as much. Give me credit. They are the only reason they are doing so well, and they're the reason they are. And
Manning gave them the props.
And they're great. I just think Tom Brady's just too good.
Oh, I agree.
And
but
he has a Gronk and he has Edelman and Danny Amendola and LaFell are dark horses, but they can still change the game if
as I said before, you're in Mile High. If this was Fox Road, be hit
also there's Mile High, but then there's also Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
I know. I agree.
They just don't give a fuck.
I know. They watch your language.
But I'm just saying. I agree. That all makes a difference. But
I agree with you completely. It's Bill Belichick, Brady, but I think it's Mile High. Especially when I said before they couldn't run the ball. I think that's gonna really come into play. I'm gonna go with Denver, but also the key is time possession. And Manning could keep Tom Brady off the field, and not just Tom Brady, his defense off the field, and give them rest. Then I see this game going to Broncos. But if
only way this game is close is, you're right, is if Denver has the majority
Yeah,
of the possession.
Or if it's like kind of 500-y, like, you know what I mean?
Like
They have to
Even
run.
then, I
They
still
have to run
think-
the ball. If they can't run, if you're expecting Manny to outsling Tom Brady, you're not going to win.
That's a good point.
You need to run.
Yeah.
And CJ Anderson has been great. Hillman has been great.
The
and
only
obviously you're
way I see the sorry to interrupt again.
No,
but the
no.
only way I
It's
see
okay.
Denver winning this game is if Peyton Manning runs for 200 plus yards. So that's my prediction.
Man,
That's that.
That's okay.
Stranger
He
things
has
have
to-
happened in the NFL.
If he runs for
you never know.
200 yards, they will win the game.
You never know.
Man,
So-
remember when he scored that? I forget who they were playing, but
Yeah,
remember that fake
the
handoff, and then he just trotted into the end zone. If he does that 16 times, they're set. So anyways,
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay, so you heard it here first. Not here first, but you heard us. Our opinions, our analyzing of both games. But Shane wants to talk about something else. He wants to talk
some
about
prospects.
the prospects moving forward and the Tennessee Titans, the hirings.
Ooh,
Shane, what do you think about the hiring of the new head coach?
it's a bunch of malarkey.
A bunch of malarkey. I don't hate malarkey, and I don't think he's.
I think there was better people out there.
That's the thing, though. Like, I'm not against malarkey. Like, hire him all you want, but you have to give the entire you don't have all of off season, but you have till a week after the Super Bowl when you can start talking to Josh McDaniels. You can talk to the defensive coordinator there. But their three head coaches they were interviewing were Ray Orton, a defensive coordinator for Tennessee, where you don't need a defensive coordinator. You want someone to help Marcus Mariota. That's the only way the Titans can be successful. And then our second option was a defensive coordinator out of Jacksonville, and then our third. Like, why don't you wait? Why don't you wait for
There's no
Josh
rush.
McDaniels?
There's no rush.
Exactly. There's no rush to do this.
The draft's not until April.
Yeah.
You have that. Like, if you hire the coach in end of February, early March, that gives them enough time to analyze the team and see what they want in the draft.
There's a video there's a rap actually that you guys should watch
rap.
after. There's a rap about a Titans fan made about it's called Damn Titans, and it is do you think you can actually throw it up there, Berish? You can try to find. Well, if you try to find it, then yeah, please put it up because it is actually pretty hilarious, and it's actually well done. But it does boggle my mind that they did it so quickly. I would have been fine if they hired Malarkey. I like
After interviewing
interviewing more people, like the ownership with Amy Shrunk or whatever her name is it just bothers me. She came out today saying, before all the interviews, I already knew I was hiring Mike Malarkey, and that's just not right though. Like there was a news report. Sorry, I keep hogging this, but there was a beat writer went out and found out 60% of the season ticket holders would not come back if Malarkey was hired. Like they made it was a huge thing that Titan fans don't want him there, and with a team struggling. Fan support is one of the most important things, and you can't just throw that away.
Absolutely, no. Actually, that's actually a good point. NFL owners make decisions on their own merits.
Yeah.
Like if you look at like a meritocracy, like everyone, you see all these coordinators that don't really have much head coaching experience. They're getting hired out of the woodwork. Like Chip Kelly has a job.
Yeah,
he has a job already. Like,
okay, I honestly think
months after what happened in Philadelphia.
that's selling
$6 million, by the way.
Yeah, but
$6 million.
But you also guys think what Chip Kelly's bringing to the table. He runs that spread offense. He needs a mobile quarterback. Look what he did with Nick Foles, man. Nick Foles had a career year, and everyone was talking about him being a franchise quarterback, the next big thing. And even with Sam Bradford, okay, that trade was just head scratcher. It was a head scratcher.
They lost a second-round pick.
I honestly thought he did that just for the pure pride and say, because he always says X's and O's, doesn't matter who I plug in, my system's going to work. But with Colin Kaepernick, I think he's the perfect guy for the system. Read option, get Colin Kaepernick to go back to what made him great.
Mm-hmm.
Read option, run game, and throwing. And then now open up the throwing lanes for him because he has a powerful arm. He doesn't have the accuracy like a lot of people think. Like, I don't think he has a deep pass accuracy. But he has that arm.
But you don't need a deep pass.
No,
actually,
exactly.
if you have that spread offense.
Exactly, and he can run. We all know he's a gazone. He flies.
Oh yeah,
he can fly.
That one run, that 90-yarder.
Yeah, he can fly. That guy is just
it's
a lot of good coordinators, not too many good head coaches.
And what about Jack? The Cleveland hiring.
Yeah, Hugh Jackson.
Hugh Jackson. I'm glad he got a second chance.
I like that swagger.
Yeah, I think
I
he's
feel
good
bad for Cleveland for Cincinnati because he
lost
knows all
out.
the secrets and they lost a good coordinator.
Staying in Ohio.
So that's swagger.
They had Jay Gruden, head coach. Now they had Hugh Jackson.
And think about Zimmerman, great coach.
They had Zimmer on the defense. He's
Man,
now
I
head
think
coach.
Marvin Lewis is pumping up
the
some
Marvin
good
Lewis
coach.
coaching tree is it's solid, but Marvin Lewis himself.
He's okay. This year was unlucky. the injury to Andy Dalton just put the key was they had a chance to win the game and they had a meltdown. But you got to look at what they had, the quarterback position, as we kept saying, it's the most talent.
What we were saying earlier today.
Yeah, it's a must-need position.
It makes a huge difference.
Think about you had
it's
Andy
a trickle
Dalton.
down effect.
I understand Andy Dalton has had the greatest record, but this team looked different this year. They had a different swagger. They had a different mentality. Honestly, all we can do is speculate and hypothesize about what Andy Dalton could have done, and based on his record, we could argue that he would have stunk up the joint. But I felt this year was going to be different, and of course, now we don't know, and we got to wait another year to see what Dalton can do in the playoffs.
Right.
But either way, I think
NFL
Cleveland
owners,
made a
man.
good step forward. That he's going to change the culture there. He's going to change it and bring a more gritty style of
He's just
game.
going to bring a winning attitude.
Yeah, and he's already done with Johnny Manziel probably. He's going to toss him out.
Great.
They're going to draft. Who are they going to draft with the second pick overall?
With the second pick? I think they're going to take Jared Goff, if I'm
California?
pronouncing that right, from out of Cal. I think
Aaron Rodgers.
He's coming out of similar to like that. You know what I mean? Like you're coming out of a team where he was like the only person you could lean on there, right? Like he was like a very big leader there.
Yep.
And I think you have a leader. You're not on a big team. Not like a big nations team. And I think he's just going to come in. He's going to calm, collected. Just do work.
Does Josh Gordon come back?
I don't even want to see it started, but he shouldn't have been suspended.
I know.
He's going to be he's so young still.
And
he's going to be so good.
And it was for the. Oh God!
Anyway.
He gets suspended for a year for marijuana when there's a lot worse stuff out there.
He didn't
but that's
even
different.
smoke. Yeah, we'll go.
That was a different topic. But man, when you have Josh Gordon back, just him alone is going to open the field up for a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely.
And then Benjamin looked good.
Anyway, so what I took I took Jared Goff for Cleveland in the second pick.
Mm-hmm. It's just for everyone. Shane Wright did a mock draft without me, so it's pretty disappointed. I haven't critiqued it yet.
We're done to do. Jake and I might do a mock draft after the season's complete. How's that? And then pick number 1 was Laramie. I think I'm pronouncing it. Tunsil. He's at Ole Miss. I think he's
he's supposed to be number 1. He's supposed to be up there.
Between him and Bosa
are
probably the Joey Bosa from Ohio are probably the number 1 and 2.
Tennessee needs to work on their linemen for sure, and then they got to concentrate on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, yeah. What I think it is as much as you want to. They need a lot of help on D. They put a lot of they did a lot of offensive stuff last year in the draft, but you have to protect. Bringing in Tunsil will give he'll come in as your left tackle for the next decade. Taylor Lewan will move to your right side. You have the edge just shored up perfectly. Then so I think,
do you draft Henry?
Well, that's the thing. I was thinking
in the second round.
I personally wanted to go away from offense and go defense, but now
if he's available,
now that Malarkey is our head coach and he's so run heavy.
And the thing with Henry, the thing is with Henry, he's not the most elusive guy out there, but he's a run between the tackles kind of guy. And you do still have a Bishop, you still have a Cobb.
I think a Cobb is going to be a very he could be a very
he'd be like a Duke Johnson Jr. kind of thing, very good out the backfield, but you need that guy between the tackles.
Exactly, and Henry's just a power back that you need. Like I said, and then my third pick goes to San Diego. I give them Joey Bosa.
That team just,
they just have kind of.
Other than Phil, if you put an average quarterback on that team, it would have been a disgrace. Philip Rivers made that team competitive for so long. Jason, you could jump in at any time.
Oh no, I'm looking at it as mock draft. I'm intrigued.
Shane and I,
you put a lot of work in that.
I'm obsessed with these drafts. And
Shane and I unfortunately are not. Jason and I are in the same classes, but Shane and I have been separated from first semester, so we don't.
So amazing.
We haven't been.
I sleep nicely.
Oh, you know what?
So calm.
You've been on an island.
No loud voices anymore in his head.
I won't go through every pick, but I'll just put some notables out there. Laquan Treadwell goes to San Fran. I think they give Kaepernick a wide receiver.
Don't go through all the secrets because this is we're gonna do the mock draft later.
They just need a weapon, right? Because they know. Kaepernick needs someone to throw to. He's another player who can also.
And then you have Torrey Smith who could do the home run ball. But
Treadwell can he can do that spread offense. So you can kind of run around the edge, do some weird stuff that Chip Kelly likes. So I think they should go with that.
Let's just calm down a little bit. This will be later down the road once, especially with the showing off their combines. What am I saying?
All I want to tell you is just one more pick.
Okay, one more pick, and then we're gonna call it for mock drafts.
I'm gonna give you quickly the Bills.
Yeah. Okay. If you haven't noticed, I'm a Bills fan.
Ashawn Robinson, defensive tackle out of
Alabama.
We need a defensive
tackle. I agree with that.
It's just because your line's aging, and why not take
Darcel Darius and then Jerry Hughes, but then Mario Williams is apparently on the go. And then
That might be a glaring need.
Kyle Williams he's unbelievable. Don't get me wrong, but he's aging. He's turning, I believe, 31.
Who was it? Okay, yeah, Kyle Williams.
Kyle Williams,
Yeah.
the guy, he unfortunately injured his knee, which was a huge hole, not just defensively but leadership wise, because I feel that he was the guy that really brought the line together. And then when he left, Mario Williams apparently was just not into it, not into the whole schema, and it's kind of sad, but it is what it is. But anyways,
Vikings then take Corey Coleman so they can try to score a touchdown. And here you go, Jason. I'm giving Pittsburgh Steelers Ellie Apple, a cornerback out of Ohio State. I think
you
he's
guys do need the help
It
back
will
there. That or safety.
It will not happen. I've seen, out of all the drafts I've seen in the last 10, 15 years for the Steelers, they never, ever, ever, besides Troy Polamalu, I've never seen him take anybody in the secondary.
True.
In the first round.
They try to find those hidden gems, but
that's literally that's like their like philosophy. That's their
They just
policy.
don't wanna go for corners.
They've stuck to the pure front seven defensive players.
Travis Jones,
Offensive line. They usually
they
usually take the best available player.
Yeah.
But it's never really somebody from the secondary.
Yep, but we'll tune in more with the mock drafts down the road. We're going to don't worry, mock drafts will happen. Shane, Jason, and I will get on that. Shane has taken a little.
Still have like 3 months.
Yeah, exactly. Shane's taking a little head start, but we'll catch up.
It's like my 6th one.
It's my 6th one, whatever.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah, I feel bad for your girlfriend.
Yeah, no, she knows everyone. I think she's practically she's dating. Larry Tunsil and
she's
Joey
dating the
Bosa.
mock draft. Anyways, this.
You were never getting my girlfriend's mock draft. Get the hell out of here, there, Berish.
We all know Connie apparently wants her mock draft as well.
No, okay, no one's talking about my girlfriend's mock draft. Okay, we need to cut this out right now.
It's a running.
We're going somewhere.
If you haven't noticed, it's a running joke about Shane's girlfriend mock drafts and everything along those lines. But anyways, thank you for tuning in. We might as well end it on a high note with Shane's girlfriend. This was the read option. Again, Shane Wright,
Thanks
thank
for
you for
having
joining
me.
us. He'll be here next week. As always, Jason Guidolo will be here. And me, I'm not going anywhere.
Hopefully, he will be
I will not
somehow lose his way here.
I will find my way, but I'll find my way here on my map or GPS. And I'm Jake Howard. Thank you again for tuning in to the read option.